Hey guys, Ruby here, back with another video. Today, we're going to be dispelling all the misinformation, or at least some of the misinformation I've encountered regarding the PS5 Pro, and how silly little fanboys, or one in particular we're going to be looking at in this video, thinks the PS5 Pro is just as good as a high-end PC. And if you don't believe me, we're about to check it out real soon. But first, I've got to actually break down what we're looking at here before we get to making fun of retards on the internet. So, let's begin. All right, so the price of this thing, let's start with that, because it's a pretty penny to fucking get one of these damn things. We're talking a nice big fat $700 US. That's without tax. I think that applies to all the prices listed on this picture here. Yeah, no stand. Nah, you're getting this bitch just constant controller. That's all you're getting, from all the other shit that usually comes with them. You want to know how much the disc drive costs? Just the disc drive. That $79.99 for just the disc drive. Again, I get how a lot of people do not use it, but still, that's a lot for just disc. And oh, check out the stand. This one's gonna shock you. $29.99. You gotta be fucking kidding me with this shit. And it's sold out too, at least according to that Best Buy entry. It's a real bitch and a half. Like, why would I want to spend $6.99 on a console that's already gonna be like, what, $740 with tax? And then you're spending another like $40 and another like $85 to $100. It's like almost $750 for that console to be like fully done out. Hey guys, it's me from the future, and I just did the calculations off camera, and I just realized that headset $750, which is not even close. This is the actual pricing with and without the disc drive. So yeah, good luck getting that put together. Now back to the original content. Like, you don't have to buy the disc drive, no, but if you do want to buy the disc drive for physical media, then that's more expensive. But if you want to just stand your fucking console up, that's just a load of horse shit. It just is. Like, why would I pay $30 more just to be able to stand my console up vertically? It makes no fucking sense, man. We're gonna move on to the next section, alright? Fuck this shit. Alright, so the PS5 Pro, it's got some pretty decent specs on it, so let's take a look here. We got a 8-core, 16-thread AMD Zen 2 CPU, kind of like a Ryzen 7. I'm not sure if they're trying to replicate the 3700X or the 7700X, but moving on here, we got 16 gigs of DDR6 RAM, and then 2 more gigs of DDR5 RAM, and then we got here the PSSR software, which is their FSR DLSS equivalent, and then they got a 2TB SSD in here, and NVMe right in the console, which is fantastic, because the original ones have a lot of storage, and to this day it haunts me. But to say that this is pretty good for $700 is an understatement. I believe it is a very decent deal if you've got the the chump change for it. But if we're talking like actual PCs, like if you're trying to build one with that kind of performance, it is not going to be $700 at all. So like if you look at this PC part picker list I put together, this is just using the cheapest parts I can find that come up to modern standards, and the price on that is not gonna shock most of you that know what the hell you're talking about. We're talking $1,500 or so for this kind of power and performance. It's just unrealistic to say that you can get that kind of performance for $700, because it's just, a PC is like far more, there's a lot more to it. You gotta actually put that bitch together, or if you're lazy, you can always use like NZST build or something. But it's still unreasonable to believe that that kind of power comes at that price point. At $700, you're getting like some cheap ass Google Chromebook or something. I have no idea. I haven't looked into it like that, but it's something that one should keep in mind, that these consoles, like, they sell them at a loss sometimes. It just really depends on the situation. But yeah, for $700, you're not getting that kind of performance at all. Alright, as you read from this section, I've brought along someone else to share their opinion on the PS5 Pro and all the people who are being weird about it. Go, take it away, Dave.
The PS5 Pro, it will beat any computer. If you want a PC gaming experience, get a PS5 Pro. They do realize it's going to be locked at 30 FPS. I'm not playing my games at 30 FPS. I'm not doing that.
No, that shit's way too slow. Like, yes, they can get 60 frames on some games, as like if they have that support. Like, they have to have that support first of all. like enhanced for PS5 Pro has to be on the app or on the box somewhere in order to actually like get the full benefits of the PS5 Pro's
Absolutely. And
new
see, what
capabilities.
gets me is you could go to Best Buy, get the same. You can get a computer, a gaming PC for the same price as a PS5 Pro and still have an RTX 16 gigabytes of RAM and a terabyte of storage. Oh, you don't have to spend money for no stand or games. Actually, theoretically, all you gotta do is download Steam and play some free games on there. Whoa!
Wait, $1,000? Wait, isn't it $1,000 for that much, or would it be far less? Because I don't know for sure.
Oh no, it's less because for the computer I got is the same price as the PS5 Pro. I got the RTX 3050, which has 8 gigabytes of DDR or VRAM, 16 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM, and a terabyte.
Really? Like, did you get it off of like a pre-built site, or did you put it together yourself?
Oh no, this is Best
Ah.
Buy.
Oh yeah, they do have those cheap little
It was already
pre-builds,
ready.
yeah. But again, if we want performance that you know, like goes further beyond, like hits that like 4K, like 120 frames, like you need a lot more than $700 for that.
Absolutely. But dishing out extra money is basically the equivalent of buying a stand and a disk drive for a
But to
PS5
be
Pro.
fair, like I mentioned in the previous segment, not everybody places value in the disk drive. So technically, getting the disk drive is not something that, like, I don't know, an overwhelming majority of people are gonna mind that much about. All their, you know, most of our
Yeah.
libraries are digital anyway, so you know, safe to say that consoles would follow that same, you know, mindset of, oh, digital like is more popular than physical. So you know, having the disk drive separate, but an additional option for those people who actually want it, I think is scummy, yes, but you know, from a business standpoint, I can kind of like sort of understand why they're doing it that way.
Yeah, I just say the definitive way to play games, in all honesty, to me nowadays, is just getting a gaming computer. You get better graphics, more performance, the largest library in the whole world when it comes to gaming, mod support, and I mean for games that you would not expect to get mod support on, a better VR experience. I'm not speaking about you, Meta. I'm still at bad terms with you.
Hmm.
Just you get so much more variety.
That is true. And even recently, since
And
PC gaming's become even more accessible, that it's like half the price of the PS5 Pro to even get into it with like the Steam Deck and shit like that.
yep. And that's a perfect example too, is the Steam Deck still can play a lot of these big AAA titles that were like Dragon Age Valguard just got verified on the Steam Deck. So, and that's a brand new massive RPG game that you can play on there.
Well, if you like all the DI writing, but you know, I digress. You can play the most recent games off of your Steam library from the Steam Deck anywhere you go. Either you get the OLED or the LCD version, you're still getting like a really damn good experience overall. It's just a fantastic console. Hell, I've recommended my friends who play on console. I'm like, you want to get into cheap PC gaming? The Steam Deck is right there.
Let me note something that I hear a lot. I hear a lot of people talk about and say when they don't want to switch to computer because they can't use a controller. You can use a controller for any Steam game.
Yeah, and if you happen to have the Steam Deck, it's literally got controllers attached to the damn to the, I guess we can call that quote unquote console, you know, so you wouldn't have that problem. And you can connect controllers to it externally.
Like take Counter-Strike for instance. Sometimes I just want to sit back and lay down in my bed, play some Counter-Strike. I can play that on my TV through the Steam Deck or even on my computer with a controller because every single game is supported with a controller. Even things that say it has no controller support because Steam has such a phenomenal community to just help everyone out. Not to mention, if you're a console person and you want a console-like experience, just enter your big picture mode. It's literally a console experience.
And on the Steam Deck, it's literally the exact same thing. Which is really cool because, like, it feels like I'm browsing a console. Like it's no different from the PS5, the Xbox Series X, that kind of thing. It's that similar. It just makes it so much more accessible to those who are not so familiar with Steam's layout.
And not only that, there are so many plugins, and this is for PC too. There are so many plugins like EMU deck that you can go ahead and use, and you can be able to get retro games all the way up to the Switch and now the PS4. It's like you get your PC library, but you also will get access to the console library.
Yeah, that's just like it's just the PC platform is just flexible overall. It's just like it doesn't have that kind of restriction that the PlayStation has. There's no like exclusive software. I mean, technically there is, but like there's no like exclusive software that makes you go, "Oh, I want a PC for this, 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 and this." Because it has literally every other game on the market. It's just got that flexibility to it that just makes it a superior platform. But while I say that, if someone's playing on PlayStation, that's like, that's completely fine. It's having a preference is never bad. But it's retarded to say, hey, the PS5 is better than a PC, ha, get wrecked, bitch. No, it's just, it's retarded. It really is.
Yeah, consoles. I'm sorry. They sell people saying that consoles have this much amount of stuff. They will never have that much stuff compared to what a computer can offer you. They say big numbers because they want people to sit there and listen and say, "Oh, I love me some big numbers. That sounds incredible." All you are getting is basically a six-year-old APU upgrade. The Steam Deck has a more modern APU.
Isn't the Steam Deck's APU like custom made from the ground up, or is it like borrowing architecture from something else? I kind of don't know.
Well, their APU is custom made. It's just that they are stuck with the Z1 Extreme CPU, which has like the ROG Ally and all has. But yeah, a Steam Deck, if they, let's say you put a Ryzen 9, like if they had a portable Ryzen 9 for a Steam Deck, that thing would be so powerful that it would be able to run anything definitely over 150 frames per second. The Z1 Extreme is phenomenal, but it is not to the standard of like a Ryzen 9 or even 7, maybe a Ryzen 5. But the APU is still stronger than the PS5 Pro because it is a custom made APU.
Yeah, and it'd be more optimized for that system in the first place. But yeah, the PS5 Pro, like I said in the previous segment, is a good investment for those who are like PlayStation and like have the money for that. But otherwise, I'd say just stay the hell away from it.
I would too. I mean, emulation is on a rise too. Screw you, Nintendo. I will say that with my chest out.
Now this section is going to be covering, I guess, the funny comments and posts I've read on Twitter regarding the PS5 Pro, seeing as, the name of the section is what it is, it's going to be quite humorous. So let's take a look here at this guy's tweets right here. D-Batch. Oh boy, seems like quite the fellow here. Look at that. Quite the following. But see, here's hyping up the fact that Baldur's Gate 3 is getting that enhanced for PS5 Pro. But yeah, it's great that it's getting that support, but look at this statement. Yup, best place to play on consoles. What the actual fuck are you talking about, mate? PC is the way to go. What are you even talking about, man? Jeez, might want to read through the link you provided. Sheesh! That's crazy. A 4K native 30 frames per second is a minor difference. Numbers are confusing. Damn, bro. 4K at 60 or native 4K and 60 FPS mode? I don't like the wording. This is not actually native 4K 60 frames on a PS5 Pro. It's actually native 4K 30 frames per second. It makes sense. I don't think anyone said it's not the best. They said it's not worth it for what it costs. There is a cute difference there. It says native 4K and 60 FPS. The native 4K mode is only 30 frames per second. The performance mode is just upscaled to 4K with PSSR. Yeah, that's typically what happens when you upscale a game. Your performance doesn't take as much as a hit because the AI is assisting with that. That's like what DLSS and FSR do on AMD and NVIDIA cards. Like my 4070 Ti, it supports that. So on Cyberpunk, my frame rate is like like higher than what it would be without that on. I think I can get over 130 plus frames on Cyberpunk 2077. Just keep in mind I have a i9 13900K and 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM in this thing, so that's also a contributing factor. That's not 4K 60, that's 4K 30 and then XK 60, X being like 2K possibly. But yeah, they don't want to believe it. They just want to keep defending their Xbox Series. Okay, another retarded tweet. Let's skip that. Look, there is like visible upgrades with PSSR and all the other stuff that the PS5 is genuinely, doing to these games, especially the PS5 enhanced games. But if we look at this video here of the PS5 Pro being compared to the regular PS5, and a 6800 XT, which is what the GPU in the PS5 Pro is being compared to. It's a close contest, yes, but the 6800 XT keeps a smoother 60 frames per second. It's more consistent than the PS5's GPU, which is quite telling, especially when people like this just want to defend it. It's just really fucking stupid. Like, why would you want to, like, subject yourself to a clearly outdated like hardware experience? Like, if you were in the market for this stuff, you'd just be better off getting a PC, especially a really nice high-end one. Like, you could get one for like $2,000, $2,100 give or take, that could do what the PS5 Pro means to do, but in a much more consistent and upgradable form factor. Plus, you can do way fucking more on a PC than you ever could on a console. So that's always going to be a fact, that PC just has that much more to it than a console. I know a console is just specifically for video games, but even so, comparing it to PC in the first place is pretty fucking stupid. So with that being said, I'd say get a PC, but if you really like sticking to console, wait, I can't even say that, because in the previous segment I covered that you could fucking get a Steam Deck that can emulate a console experience for less than $500 and still get similar performance. But even with that, it's just, I cannot believe I have to read through some of this fucking shit. That is sad. No 120 FPS on a Pro. Sad. It's just something else, man. It really is. It's just, why, man? Why are they doing this to themselves? It's 1440p upscaled, not 4K. Yeah, that's literally it. The upscaling is what's giving them that impression. It's just crazy, man. It's just, why do people bother doing this to themselves? It's just so dumb. And to compare a PS5 Pro to my PC is just as stupid, but I just want to demonstrate just how much of a gap there is between PCs, at least high-end ones, and the PS5 Pro. So right here I've got my Cyberpunk 2077 benchmarks here. This is with DLSS frame generation, DLSS resolution scaling turned on, ray tracing and path tracing enabled, because my 4070 Ti can do that. At 1080p, I'm getting average of 128 frames per second, which is incredible, at least for what my system can do. I mean, to be fair, my 1080p monitor is bottlenecking my GPU, so it's not exactly outputting at max, so that is a thing. Next benchmark I ran here was with ray tracing low, just a slightly neutered experience here, typically getting around 148 frames a second here. I did have auto on DLSS, so it's not exactly like maxed out, and frame generation was disabled during this test, so the frames are more varied here. And for my last test, I decided to push it all the way and go full path tracing, full DLSS, no frame generation whatsoever, but I just maxed out everything, and it turns out I only got 73 frames a second, which, if a PS5 Pro tried to do that, I don't think it would even run in the first place, which is quite telling of how much hardware is jam-packed into a PC in comparison to what a PS5 Pro has, which again is not terrible, but to say that it's comparable to a high-end PC like this one is pretty damn retarded. All right, in conclusion, to finish off this video, I believe the PS5 Pro, while providing pretty decent specs for the price, that price is a little overbearing for what you're getting, and the, what, like 15 to 35% performance boost you're getting out of it is not really worth all that. Not to mention, if I'm not mistaken, some of the TVs out on the market don't support the kind of tech that the PS5 Pro has, and also that only certain games get to take full advantage of the PS5 Pro's features up until developers add that shit into their games. So in the end, I'd say if you're a real big PlayStation guy and want the best version of a PlayStation 5, then this is a console for you. But if this is not what you're looking for, then like I've said throughout this video, getting a PC would be a far better option for you, because it provides more of what you're looking for without really being limited to just one platform. So with that being said, thank you very much for watching this video. It's been a real fun I can't say 2 days, 3 days to edit this video. It's probably like, give or take, around maybe 7 hours total to really put it all together. So really, if you made it to the end, thank you very much. I don't ask this, I don't ask this of people, but like, if you could like the video, that'd be pretty cool. This shows me that my videos actually have that tangible, effect on others. And if you don't mind subbing, go right ahead and do so. Would really help a guy like me out. And with that being said, thank you for watching.